I'll write an interesting, simple 800-word story for part 1 of Why Are Humans Launching Pigs at Us? In third-person style using basic English. Admiral Deho stood on the bridge of the massive ship called Enlightened Path. He looked at the GI, blue planet on the screen. The year was 2042 and humans had no idea their lives were about to change. Prepare the contact message, Deho ordered. His blue skin glowed under the ship's lights. The Galactic Consortium had found many planets before, but Earth seemed different. Lieutenant Jisoo, the ship's expert on alien life, worked at her station. Admiral, these humans are odd. They fight wars but also make jokes about everything. They seem unpredictable. Deho smiled. All new species seem strange at first. They will join us like the others. They are primitive. They still burn fossil fuels and fight with metal weapons. The Enlightened Path moved closer to Earth. Humans spotted the giant ship in the sky. Instead of panic, something unexpected happened. Humans took pictures. They made jokes. They created what they called memes about the aliens. Admiral, you need to see this, Jisoo said with concern. She showed him a screen filled with human internet posts. One showed a picture of their ship with words, "When you travel across galaxies but forget to bring snacks." Deho frowned. They are not afraid? No, sir. They seem amused. The consortium decided to land near the United Nations building in New York. Their ship created a huge shadow over the city. Deho prepared to meet Earth's leaders, wearing his best uniform with 17 medals, each representing a planet that had joined the consortium. Remember, he told his crew, we are superior. Show strength but be kind. These humans will soon understand their place. When the ship's door opened, Deho expected to see scared humans, or at least serious faces. Instead, there were people taking selfies with the ship in the background. Some held signs saying, "Welcome to Earth," and "Take me to your leader," with smiling faces. Inside the UN building, world leaders gathered. Some looked worried, but many seemed curious. Deho walked to the front of the room with 4 guards. "People of Earth," he began in a voice that had made other species bow. "I am Admiral Deho of the Galactic Consortium. We control 17 planets across 3 star systems. We bring order and progress. Your planet will now join us. Your wars will end. Your pollution will stop. You will follow our rules for your own good." He expected applause or fear. Instead, someone in the back laughed. The human leader of the United Nations, President Kim, spoke carefully. "Admiral, we welcome peaceful visitors, but Earth is not looking to be controlled. Perhaps we can be friends instead." Deho was shocked. No planet had ever suggested being friends with the consortium. "You misunderstand," Deho said. "This is not a request. The consortium does not have friends. We have member planets that follow our leadership." President Kim smiled. "Perhaps we should discuss this over lunch. We've prepared food to welcome you." Deho had not expected hospitality. This was confusing but might be useful. Very well. The lunch was strange. Humans asked personal questions. Did he have a family? Did aliens have music? They seemed more interested in cultural exchange than in discussing their surrender. As they ate, a commotion started outside. Jisoo rushed in. "Admiral, there's a problem. Somehow a farm animal has entered our ship." "What kind of animal?" Deho asked. "The humans call it a pig. It's running through our science lab right now." President Kim looked embarrassed. "I apologize. One of our less formal citizens must have played a prank." "A prank?" Deho asked. "You mean this was intentional?" "Possibly. Some humans use humor in tense situations." Deho stood up angrily. "You put an animal on our ship as a joke, while we offer you advanced technology and peace?" The room grew quiet. Jisoo whispered, "Sir, our sensors also detect unusual signal patterns. The humans might be scanning our technology while we're distracted." Deho's eyes narrowed. These humans were not what they seemed. They acted silly but might be clever. They smiled while possibly gathering intelligence. "This meeting is over," Deho announced. We will return to our ship and consider whether Earth is worthy of joining the consortium. As they left, Deho heard more laughter outside. Humans were watching videos of the pig running through the alien ship, captured by their security cameras and somehow leaked to human social media. Back on the ship, Deho watched Earth from orbit. These humans are strange, Jisoo. They do not fear us. They make jokes while studying us. I do not understand. Jisoo nodded. Perhaps that's why they're dangerous. The pig, now in a pen on the ship, looked at them with what seemed like amusement. 6 months had passed since the first contact disaster. Captain Tae Wan stood on the bridge of the consortium battleship, Righteous Force. 50 warships now surrounded Earth. The blue planet looked small and helpless. Send the message, Tae Wan ordered. Science Officer Sung Min nodded. Sending now, Captain. Across Earth, screens showed Captain Tae Wan's stern face. People of Earth, your disrespect cannot continue. The consortium has brought peace to 17 worlds. You will surrender your governments to us within 24 hours, or we will demonstrate our power. This is not a request. In an underground base beneath Kansas, General Yuna of the Earth Defense Force watched the message with her team. They really don't understand us at all, she said. Get me the president. An hour later, General Yuna stood in front of world leaders on a secure video call. The aliens have technology far beyond ours, she explained. But they have a weakness. They think in straight lines. They expect either surrender or a direct attack. What do you suggest, General? Asked President Kim. Yuna smiled. Something they won't expect. Operation Pigfall. The next morning, as alien ships hovered over major cities, something strange happened. From farms across America, Europe, and Asia, objects were launched into the sky. Not missiles, not fighter jets, pigs. Thousands of pigs, each wearing what looked like a small protective suit, were being shot into the upper atmosphere using modified farm equipment. On the Righteous Force, alarm sounded. Captain, called Sung Min. Earth is launching biological objects toward us. Taewon frowned. Weapons? No, sir. They appear to be farm animals. The same type that invaded our ship during first contact. Pigs. Taewon stared at the screen. Sensors showed thousands of pigs floating in near-Earth orbit. Some were even bumping against their ships. This makes no sense, he said. Scan them for explosives or technology. After 30 minutes, Sungmin reported back. Nothing, sir. They're just pigs in spacesuits. Taewon slammed his fist on a panel. What are they doing? Is this some kind of joke? Tactical Officer Sujin spoke up. Sir, maybe it's a primitive offering. Some species offer food to show submission. Or maybe they're just insane, said another officer. Taewon ordered a pig brought aboard for study. As the confused animal was examined in the science lab, more pigs continued to launch from Earth. What the consortium didn't know was that General Yuna was watching them carefully from her command center. Are the sensors working? She asked a young technician. Yes, General. Every pig has microscopic sensors that map the aliens' ship designs and energy signatures when they get close. The aliens are so busy being confused by the pigs that they don't notice our real technology. Yuna smiled. And their communications? We're breaking their codes now. The pig distraction has them talking constantly, giving us more data to work with. Meanwhile, on the Righteous Force, Professor Ha-Jun from the Science Division had arrived to study the pig situation personally. Captain, these humans are behaving illogically, he said. No species has ever responded to a surrender demand with livestock. What should we do? Asked Taewon. Ha-Jun looked thoughtful. I need to examine more specimens. These pigs might contain some kind of message or code. As the consortium collected more pigs for study, Earth launched different breeds. Some were black, some spotted, some large, and some small. This made the aliens even more confused, convinced there must be a pattern to decode. On Earth, General Yuna met with a small team of elite soldiers. The pig distraction is working perfectly, she said. The aliens are so focused on finding meaning in the pigs that their security has gaps. Team 2 has already infiltrated their smallest ship and copied their database. a soldier asked. How? Long before they realize the pigs are just a distraction? They won't, Una said confidently. Their minds don't work like ours. They can't understand doing something that makes no logical sense as a strategy. The more they try to understand the pigs, the more time we have. In space, Captain Taiwan watched as yet another wave of pigs floated past his ship. I don't understand these humans, he said quietly. What he didn't see was the small stealth ship approaching from behind, carrying Earth's best hackers and engineers, ready to access the consortium's main systems. Operation Pigfall was just beginning. Professor Hajun had never been so confused in his long scientific career. 3 weeks had passed since the humans began their strange pig-launching behavior, and the consortium's finest minds were still baffled. Today he stood in the main laboratory of the science vessel, Knowledge Seeker, surrounded by dozens of different pigs, all wearing small spacesuits with Earth's flag on them. Any progress? Admiral Deho asked as he entered the lab. The Admiral had returned from the homeworld specifically to handle the Earth situation, which was becoming embarrassing for the consortium. Nothing makes sense, Hajun admitted. We've examined 347 specimens, different sizes, colors, breeds. We've analyzed their DNA, their brain patterns, even their stomach contents. There are no hidden devices, no unusual modifications, nothing. Admiral Deho frowned. Humans cannot be this stupid. They would not waste resources sending thousands of farm animals into space without purpose. Perhaps the purpose is to confuse us, suggested junior scientist Junho, who had been working tirelessly on the pig problem. And it's working. Hajun shook his head. No species would use their food animals as a military strategy. It must be communication. He pointed to a large screen showing different pig types organized by launch date. Look at the pattern. First, they sent black pigs, then pink ones, then spotted ones. It must be a code. On the bridge of the flagship, Tactical Officer Su Jin was monitoring Earth's continuing pig launches. Another 200 launched in the last hour, she reported. Different pattern on the spacesuits this time. Blue stripes instead of red. Captain Taiwan paced nervously. The humans are making us look foolish. It's been 3 weeks and we still don't understand their strategy. Command is getting impatient. What the consortium didn't realize was that their communications were being monitored by humans. In the Earth Defense Force headquarters, Lieutenant Mireille listened carefully through her headset. They're still completely focused on the pigs, she reported to General Una. They formed a special science team with their best minds just to study them. General Una smiled. Perfect. And our infiltration teams? A technician spoke up. Team 3 has successfully placed data collectors on 7 of their ships. Team 5 has mapped the entire ventilation system of their command vessel. Meanwhile, on the Knowledge Seeker, Professor Hajun called an emergency meeting of the Science Division. Scientists from all 17 consortium species gathered to hear his new theory. I believe I have discovered the key to the pig code, he announced, proudly. The humans are sending us a complex message through biological patterns. He displayed an elaborate chart showing pig breeds, colors, and launch sequences. You see, the Yorkshire pigs represent peaceful intentions, while the Berkshire pigs indicate territorial boundaries. The spotted ones are mathematical concepts. The other scientists nodded, adding their own observations to Hajun's increasingly complex theory. None of them considered the simplest explanation. There was no code. Back on Earth, General Una met with her top engineers. The pig distraction is working better than we hoped, she said. While they've been obsessing over non-existent codes, we've gathered data on their weapons, shields, and propulsion systems. Their technology is advanced, but now we understand how it works. A young engineer raised her hand. General, should we stop launching pigs? We've almost achieved our goals. No, Una said firmly. The moment we stop, they might realize they've been tricked. Launch even more. Different colors, different breeds. Make the pattern even more complex. In space, a small Earth stealth ship approached the consortium's communication relay. Inside, a team of hackers prepared to access the alien network. Their leader checked the scanner. All consortium ships are still focused on pig collection and analysis. Their security systems are at minimum power. We're clear to proceed. As they worked, Professor Hajun presented his findings to Admiral Deho. Admiral, after extensive analysis, I believe the pigs are a complex, multi-layered message. The humans are either trying to establish peaceful communication or threatening us in a way we don't yet understand. The Admiral looked troubled. Which is it? Peace or threat? Hajun hesitated. We aren't sure. The code is extremely complex. What neither of them knew was that Earth's hackers had just gained access to the consortium's entire database while they debated the meaning of pigs wearing spacesuits. The cosmic misunderstanding was becoming humanity's greatest advantage. Lieutenant Mireille sat in the dimly lit command center beneath Sol, her eyes fixed on the screen showing lines of alien code. For weeks, her team had been secretly gathering data from the consortium ships, while the aliens were distracted by Operation Pigfall. Now, they had access to the entire consortium database. I think I found something important, Mireille said, calling Commander Hyunwoo to her station. Hyunwoo leaned over her shoulder, looking at the strange symbols. What am I seeing? They're psychology files, Mireille explained. The consortium has studied 17 different alien species before us. Every single one thinks in linear, logical patterns. They can't process contradictions or absurdity. Hyunwoo's eyes widened. So when we launched pigs into space, their minds literally couldn't process it, Mireille finished. They had to find a logical explanation because they can't accept that something might be done just to confuse them. Across the room, other technicians were making similar discoveries. Each person called out findings about alien technology, weapons, systems, and biology. The room buzzed with excitement. Meanwhile, in orbit, Admiral Deho was growing frustrated. 2 months had passed, and the pig situation was becoming embarrassing. The Consortium Council was demanding answers. Professor Hajun, I need answers, not more theories, Deho said sharply. The scientist looked tired. Admiral, we've analyzed everything. The pig patterns keep changing. Just when we think we understand the code, they change the sequence. Captain Taewan entered the room. Admiral, 3 more Earth ships have been detected leaving their atmosphere, not carrying pigs this time. Finally, something normal, Deho said with relief. What weapons do they carry? Taewan looked confused. None that we can detect. They appear to be completely empty. Empty ships? Deho shook his head. More nonsense. Prepare to intercept them. The consortium ships moved to surround the Yar, approaching Earth vessels. But as they got close, the Earth ships split apart, scattering in different directions at surprising speed. What are they doing? Deho demanded. Before anyone could answer, alarms blared across the ship. Control panels flickered, gravity shifted. Sir, our systems are being accessed, shouted a technician. Something is interfering with our controls. On Earth, General Yuna received the news with satisfaction. The empty ships worked. The decoys carried passive systems that matched the frequency patterns we discovered in their database. And the pig launches? Asked a government official. Just keeping them confused and divided, Yuna explained. While they focused all their best minds on solving a puzzle that doesn't exist, we learned everything about them. She pointed to a large screen showing the consortium fleet. They're technologically advanced but psychologically simple. They can't understand why someone would do something without clear purpose. That's their weakness. Commander Hyunwoo stepped forward. We're ready for Phase 2, General. Proceed, Yuna ordered. In space, the consortium ship suddenly faced a new challenge. Small Earth vessels approached, some carrying pigs, others carrying strange objects like beach balls, rubber ducks, and mannequins. What is happening? Admiral, Deho shouted as his systems continued to malfunction. Sir, the human ships are dancing, an officer reported in disbelief. They're moving in patterns that make no sense, but somehow they're passing through our defensive grids. What the consortium didn't understand was that Earth forces were using the aliens' own predictive algorithms against them. By studying their database, humans had learned that consortium targeting systems couldn't process truly random movements. On the bridge of the lead Earth ship, Commander Hyunwoo gave a simple order. Begin the Chaos Protocol. Earth ships started moving in completely. Unpredictable patterns, some spinning, some zigzagging, some stopping suddenly and releasing clouds of confetti. The consortium weapons couldn't lock on targets that behaved so irrationally. Admiral Deho watched in horror as human ships approached his fleet without fear. For the first time in consortium history, they were facing an enemy they couldn't understand, and therefore couldn't defeat. The pigs were never the weapon, Commander Hyunwoo told his crew as they prepared to demonstrate Earth's new technology, reverse-engineered from consortium data. Human unpredictability is the weapon they have no defense against. Admiral Deho stood before the consortium High Council, his once proud uniform now torn and his blue skin pale with exhaustion. The defeat by Earth forces had shocked the entire galactic community. For the first time in centuries, the mighty consortium fleet had retreated. "Explain how primitives defeated our advanced technology," demanded the High Elder, her voice echoing in the Grand Chamber. Deho took a deep breath. "The humans are different. They used our own psychology against us. While we tried to understand their pig-launching behavior, they studied our every weakness." The chamber filled with murmurs of disbelief. No species had ever outmaneuvered the consortium before. "They request a meeting," Deho continued. "Not as subjects, but as equals." 1 week later, a simple Earth shuttle docked with the consortium peace vessel in neutral space. Negotiator Jin Ho walked confidently into the meeting room, flanked by General Yuna and Commander Hyunwoo. Admiral Deho waited with his advisors. "Welcome," Deho said formally. "The consortium has agreed to hear your terms." Jinho smiled. "First, I think we owe you an explanation about the pigs." The aliens leaned forward with interest. For months, their best scientists had failed to solve this mystery. "The pigs were just a distraction," Jinho explained. "We noticed during first contact that your species became fixated on understanding the pig that accidentally entered your ship. We realized you couldn't process something happening without logical purpose." Admiral Deho's eyes widened. "You launched thousands of animals into space just to confuse us?" "Yes," General Yuna said simply. "And while you tried to decode a message that didn't exist, we studied your technology, your tactics, and your psychology." The aliens looked at each other in disbelief. Such a strategy would never occur to any consortium species. "But what about the different breeds, the changing patterns?" asked Professor Ha Jun, who had spent months creating complex theories. Commander Hyunwoo laughed. "We changed those randomly specifically to keep you creating new theories. The more complicated you thought it was, the more resources you devoted to solving the puzzle." The meeting continued for hours as humans explained their approach. The aliens were both impressed and disturbed by humanity's ability to think in ways that defied logical prediction. 3 months later, Earth was formally recognized as the 18th member of the Galactic Consortium, the first to join as an equal rather than a subject. The admission ceremony took place in the Grand Hall on the Consortium capital world. "Humans bring something unique to our alliance," said the High Elder in her speech. "They think in patterns we cannot predict, see solutions we cannot imagine, and find advantages in chaos where we see only disorder." A new division was formed within the consortium, the Unexpected Perspective, led by Yoon-ji, Earth's first representative in galactic affairs. The division specialized in solving problems that logical approaches had failed to address. Admiral Deho, once humiliated by human tactics, became the foremost expert on human psychology. His quarters aboard the diplomatic vessel now featured something no consortium official had ever kept before: a pet. A small pig named Wisdom sat on a cushion, watching as Deho prepared for another day of learning about his new allies. "You know," Deho told the pig as he fed it an apple, "before humans I thought understanding the universe was about finding patterns and logic. Now I understand that sometimes the most logical approach is to be completely illogical." The pig oinked in agreement. Across the galaxy, news spread of the strange new species that had joined the consortium, the humans who had defeated advanced technology with farm animals and confetti, who could think in circles when everyone else thought in straight lines, and who had turned a cosmic misunderstanding into their greatest strength. The universe would never be the same.